Hi guys, welcome to Parrot Playhouse. I'm in the bird room with Victoria Cockatoo. We have an update today on her health and what has been going on this week. We have had a wild week, unfortunately. But the good news is, because we thought it was cancer, we're not 100% sure, but after the second opinion with Dr. G, she doesn't think it's cancer. So I'll start with that in this video for those of you who have not heard the latest of what's going on. So what happened was Victoria was having problems breathing Sunday night. So I called Dr. G on Monday. Dr. G was out of town. And so I made the decision to take her to the emergency room. And so I did, 'cause she was sneezing a lot and she was making a popping sound when she breathed. The popping sound scared me to death because I was like, does she have an upper respiratory infection, right? So then when she got there, the doctor there said, well, I never saw him, not once, said that she needed blood work. We should do blood work and x-rays, and he needed to sedate her, and that was what he would do. After he examined her, although he couldn't find anything, I said, do whatever you need to do. You know, that's what I always say. Do whatever you need to do. I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to help her. I just want my bird to be healthy. She needs help. So he does this, and that's when all hell breaks loose. And I mean, hell breaks loose. So he calls me up on the phone while I'm in the hospital, calls me up on the phone, and says, air sacs look fine, so that's good, that's good. Asked me, has she fallen? And I'm like, not recently, she used to, but I really think it had to do with her eye, this and that. Okay. And then he's like, but there is something. And I'm like, well, what? And then he's like, well, has she fallen? And I said, not recently, she hasn't fallen. And he's like, well, I found it's either a bruise or it's cancer. And I about fell over and died when I heard that. So, yeah, it was bad. I'm wearing a mask. Like, once he hung up, they said they were going to bring her out. They never brought her out. I was just gasping. Like, it was terrible. So I don't want to go into that. It turns out she was in a different area, so I had to go find her an hour and a half later after crying and realizing they never brought her out. Found her and brought her home, and I just could not believe the news. So I called Dr. G. Dr. G said, I'll squeeze her in. The following day, she did. She got the x-rays ahead of time and compared them with old x-rays. And when we got there, she's like, you know what? The neck, my first guess would not be cancer. It's not 100%, but it wouldn't be cancer. Could be, but I don't really think it's cancer. So that was good enough for me. And then she showed it to me. I looked at it, but then she's like, but. And I'm like, oh no. So then all of a sudden we look at her gizzard area, or stomach area. And there's like foreign objects in there, you know. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. But then we compared, because Dr. G loves, you know, storing old medical records. She got them all from all the vets that Victoria's been to. So she has this really huge collection. So it's great, because then you compare old x-rays with new, old blood work with new. It's so important, you guys. The same stuff was there. So we don't know what it is. It's not metal. It's not plastic. It's just there. So we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. But what is really weird is, so weird, very freaky, concerning, when Dr. Lattis saved Victoria's life with a hysterectomy, and the vet that I saw, it wasn't Dr. Lattis. I just want to put that out there. Saved her life with a hysterectomy. He put 3 Hemaclips in there. I think they're Hemaclips. If not, I'll put the right name of what those are above. There's only 2, and they're made out of stainless steel. 1 is missing. So Dr. G said, like, whoa, this is really weird. And so she ended up calling Dr. Spears and asking him, have you ever seen anything like this? And Dr. Spears is like one of the top vets in the country, if not the world. And he said, no. And he's just like, I don't know how it would exit her body. Like, nobody can figure this out. So, in a month, less than a month, she's going to have another implant put in to help her with hormonal issues. And Dr. G is going to redo the x-rays and see if she can find that 3rd clip that is missing. And that is the clip that keeps her insides together from the hysterectomy. So if that thing has gotten loose, in fact, and it's floating around somewhere, it could be causing some pain that would cause issues with breathing. It's kind of a big deal. So we got to find that clip. Another thing is Victoria's going to go see Dr. G on Monday again, and Dr. G is going to do a sinus flush. So she did a sinus flush on Tuesday. She's going to do another sinus flush, and probably another sinus flush the following week, and another sinus flush the following week, and start really working on expanding her little nostrils and layers. They're so tight. They are so tight, right, Thomas? He's getting all wound up. So she has to, they're little slits, like they're basically useless, and they make it really hard for Victoria to breathe, which could be the whole breathing issue. But sometimes when birds are having complications with breathing, and you rule out a respiratory infection, and you start ruling out things, it could be caused by pain. So Dr. G was like, maybe the neck, whatever's going on with the neck, maybe it's arthritis and it's injuring her, it hurts her neck. So she was moving her around gently. I should have filmed it, but was not in the mood to film. I was like a wreck. There's sometimes you film, sometimes you don't. When you think your bird got cancer, you don't film. You just keep your mouth shut and let the vet talk and do their job, right? So that's what I did. And Dr. G moved her neck in all different positions, and Victoria looked like she was getting like a massage. Like she was just like, oh, this feels so good. And she was just like, oh, you know, when you go to the chiropractor and you're just like, oh, this is a relief. So Dr. G's like, first of all, cancer hurts. And second of all, like if there was an injury that would hurt too. And she's showing no signs of injury. Like she was like falling asleep. You know, so we're kind of going, what's going on? What is going on? But what is that stuff there? So another thing was Victoria has been filling up with air. Like she fills her crop up with air. There's a lot going on. Fills her crop up with air. I wish I would have filmed that for you when I was at Dr. G's, but like I said, it just wasn't the time or place to film. And I very rarely say that, right? You guys have seen me film through some pretty wild stuff with my parrots. It just wasn't. And asked Dr. G, could it be air? Because she's filling up with air, filling up her crop. Dr. G said she really hasn't seen that too often, but she sees it normally with macaws. And she actually had a patient in her hospital that was doing the same thing that she was treating. So could that have been what we saw in the x-ray? You know, we don't know. We're not going to know till another x-ray is done, and we can compare that x-ray with the recent x-ray and the x-ray before. So, and I'm sure there's more x-rays before that and before that. So it's pretty wild, you guys. So we're going to take another x-ray when she has the implant. And when she has the implant, we might also be taking, we also took a poop sample to rule out an infection going on in her cloaca area. So there wasn't that. So we were like really trying to rule out everything, you guys. Like she's had a lot done. And so yeah, we might, who knows, we might do some more blood tests. We're definitely going to do another poop psychology, I don't know, like, you know what I'm trying to say. And so she'll have to have bedazolam, which she would have to have anyways for the implant, so it's a good opportunity to do an x-ray. And Dr. G said if we still can't figure out what's going on with the neck, there's some other tests we can do, and the last resort will probably be a CAT scan. Because then you got to do other things. What's that word? With that lights up the body. You put it down their throat and it contrast. There you go. I can't think. I'm like on no sleep. I have to get up with Victoria like at 2:30 in the morning, like moisten her sinuses, like it's intense. So anyways, that's what's going on. And then also on Monday, we're going to do a nebulizer treatment. See how she does, and if she does well, then I'm going to get the whole system for here, and then I'll probably do a video on that so you guys can see how it's done. So especially birds that are having tightness issues with their sinuses, you know, it helps. I know I keep looking over here. I got to look here. And when I look here, I can see my birds if there's any fights breaking off, so I'm always like looking at the wrong thing. But the puff fan is contained, so we don't have to worry about a bird attacking us right now anyways. So I'll let you know about that, you guys, but a lot going on. And then last week, Victoria had to go see the ophthalmologist, Dr. Struby, no bueno, and her eyes are actually looking better. So I was kind of concerned, took her in, they're looking better. So that's good. At least the eyes are doing better. But we're really, really weird. It's just weird about that clip missing. Clips don't disappear in the body, right? It's like you guys having like a knee surgery, getting a screw in, and then all of a sudden the screw's not there anymore, right? It's like, where did that screw go? They usually light up in x-rays. So that's a big mystery. And then also, what else is brewing in her belly? We don't know. We don't know. But right now, I mean, she looks good. She's nesty, as you can see, so I want to get out of this position. She's starting to get a little panty. I need to end this video. We love you guys. Thank you so much for all your prayers and support. Look right there, not there. Look right there. We appreciate you. They mean so much, and all your comments. I know I haven't been getting back to many of you. I've just been overwhelmed. Bottom line, I'm overwhelmed. I'm working. I'm running the Parrot Playhouse toy store, taking care of my birds, and if it wasn't for my mother, I would not be able to do any of this. So I'm so thankful for my mom. I have the best mom in the world, and all of you mothers out there, you're all the best mothers in the world. Mothers are amazing, right? Gotta love our mothers. Mothers are. Jesse just gave me a kiss when I said that. Thanks, Jess. He's such a good boy. I love him. But yeah, so thank you, Mom. Thank you for supporting our Parrot Playhouse toy store. Keep those orders coming. I know I'm saying I'm busy, but I want to be busy, right? Because she's going to need major ongoing vet care. Like, we got a lot coming up, you guys. A lot of vet appointments. All right, guys. We're going to go. Sorry, I'm like yelling to the camera. I'm like in the bird room. I don't know how much this microphone's picking up. It's tricky filming with birds. But we love you. We love you a bunch. Bye, guys. Bye!